All praises to the Most High. Give him honor and glory. Hallelujah. Greetings, family. Pray all is well with each one of you. As you see the heading here, it's in reference to the Great Awakening. And I feel we're, led to touch on points of this video. So I'm going to play it and stop along the way and give whatever insights that surface. But it reminds me so much of our known great awakening, our awakening unto who we are, but not only ones who awaken up of the Bantus, of the ones on the continent of Africa or throughout the world, there are other nations are waking up as well. So we have to keep that in mind. So here we go, family.
One of the caveats that I do have some personal information that I did get personally involved in was some information that had to do with the Stargates and Looking Glass, and more specifically the 2012 problem with those projects. The popular opinion of what's out there right now is that the project was shut down because there was a problem when we approached 2012. I've heard it described a number of ways, but to my knowledge, the problem is that the timelines converge on that point in time. And when you know enough about the Stargate projects and the Looking Glass project to know how string theory works and how the possibility of possibilities works and how making one choice over here doesn't necessarily mean that the other choice couldn't exist at the same time. But once you get your brain wrapped around this subject, you find out that at the end of 2012, in an easy way to put it, the choices that we make become less and less consequential to the future. And eventually we're pushed into this bottleneck of time, no matter which choice we make. And that's important to the people that had access to Looking Glass because they would use Looking Glass knowing the choices that they would make and the future would pop up. The big mistake was coming up with the possibility of future. And when we started using a computer to say, well, if we make this choice, it's 79% possible that this scenario happens, and 23% are possible or whatever, using round numbers, that this scenario would happen. The understanding at the time was that was realistic. However, if you go down the road further and free will continues to exercise itself on this game, that 79% possibility sometimes changes very, very fast. But if you look at the situation in a point of time, it seems very realistic that that's the greatest possibility. What happened was people, very smart people, began to figure out that something big was coming up. Something that made it so all the possibilities of all the future scenarios of any choice, any possibility that was fed in and observed through the Looking Glass inherently ended up in the same future. And no decision, no...
Okay, so I want to pause there. So when he says that very smart people, started waking up or, asking questions or seeking, well, I truly believe in the spiritual realm. That's when the whole thing started. I want to say 2020, which is, we lined it up with 400 years, where the world started, just everything started looking different. Things became questionable. lot of people start leaving churches and saying they're leaving religion. They're just trying to find themselves in it all. And just, questions will start populating randomly. Questions. And you begin to seek those questions. And a lot, I want to say for myself and possibly for you, it lined it up with you seeking the Most High through fasting, praying, and meditation. So I just wanted to pause and add that in there.
No possibility changed past a certain point. That's the big secret. All possible timelines lead to the same basic set of history in the future. That is what sends everybody that has all of the information, that knows everything, into a blind panic. The people that know everything about Looking Glass, that have gotten all the reports and all the information, the elites of the world, probably figured out that that was the end of the game. And nothing could be manipulated beyond that point. When I was in the military, it would have been before 97 when I got in trouble. One of my particular areas that I was amazingly intuitive about is problem solving / mission planning, or more specifically, taking a bad mission and fixing it. Certainly knowing how string theory and possible futures works makes it so you can work your mind very quickly to see the reality of what's happening and decide what decisions need to be made to change it for a particular outcome. At a certain point, after they're done hearing the computer tell them, this is what's going to happen over and over and over and over again, all they become focused on is, how do we fix it? What I do know is that I was called in and asked to solve this problem, this timeline contraction problem. And I eventually did my due diligence and did all the investigating, and basically only had one piece of information, and that was reinforcement. The computer's right. The timelines will contract down to some inevitable thing. There is an inevitable event. It's been forecast, it's been predicted, it's been fed to us in a slop trough of what they want us to believe will happen. They don't actually have control over what happens. They only have...
Exactly. So he was called in to actually work on a timeline, and through that he came to understand that the inevitable is going to happen, and they want us to think that they are in control, but the control part of it is the Most High. So perfect what he just said. I'm just going to slide it back a little bit. Let's play
piece of information, and that was reinforcement. The computer's right. The timelines will contract down to some inevitable thing. There is an inevitable event. It's been forecast, it's been predicted, it's been fed to us in a slop trough of what they want us to believe will happen. They don't actually have control over what happens. They only have control over the reaction, and it seems that no matter what they try to do to cause their desired reaction, it's going to have an opposite effect. Much, much easier for me to explain today what that process is as opposed to back then. If I had to give it a name, I would say it's the awakening process.
Yes.
It's an evolution of consciousness that cannot, will not, and no matter what decisions or possibilities are injected into the equation, eventually it all resolves down to us all learning the truth.
Yes.
And becoming aware of this massive dam of lies that has been built that keep us from knowing massive volume of information that we should otherwise possess. Essentially what happened with Looking Glass, not only did they not want people to use it anymore because they knew it was just going to burp out the same thing, but at the same time, they didn't want anybody else to know what it was saying. I'm sure. Because that information was a monumental concern when I was in the military about how to prevent this inevitability. Now, at first, I thought it was end of the world. Now I see end of the world as end of their world.
Perfectly well said. They fed us this whole storyline surrounding the Bible, which, as I say respectfully, pointing to the Most High, aware of all what there is in the Bible. So all of this methodically, planned out, how they perhaps, in so many ways twist things towards us. Okay. But, when all this is looked at, they know that this great awakening, it can't be stopped. It can't not be stopped. Knowledge is power. All the lies that were told to us, we coming to find out the truth. And, I've said, and even seek the Most High in this manner, why can't we just have it all given to us at one time of all what we need to know? But imagine things of many, many, many years has to be, actually relearned, taught. So this is where we get all the different ones on the forefront about re-educating our people. Ones seeking to separate the lies from the truth. As I said in a video earlier today, we need to be about reclaiming our, who we are, reclaiming our thrones, going back into, returning back to our original truth. And how we get there is we have to wean out the lies. Because, Father in all rights could just say tomorrow, put within us all truth, and then we know it and we walk for it. But it's something that is as a gradual process that we're going around a wheel. And from what I could tell, so many of, ones who seeking, they are able to give revelations. Now, some may be given revelation without, say, seeking like others, but it could be in your heart that you're seeking, or however the Most High decides to do it. That's what I'm finding out to be, because I'm like, Father, why can't we just get it all and just, reveal and unveil? But there's a reason why the Most High is allowing us to go in this mode and say, seek Him, according to what Moses even said in Deuteronomy, I want to say 4, where it speaks of seek. If you seek, you shall what? Find. You will find the Most High through seeking. So let's continue. I'm going to back it up just a little bit more here.
When I was in the military, about how to prevent this inevitability. Now, at first, I thought it was end of the world. Now I see end of the world as end of their world.
Their era, their age.
Mm-hmm. Biggest cherry on top of all this conversation would be a synopsis to say that if I could convince everybody out there that for all intents and purposes, what we believe to be true eventually becomes true. If somebody convinces us that a major disaster is going to happen in the very near future, a major disaster happens in the very near future. If we don't buy into that fear and accept that there's really nothing that we know is going to happen, and accept of whatever happens, that makes the convergence of the timelines happen as naturally as possible. Any attempts to try to go away from this one inevitable conclusion, I again see as a new beginning, an end of this reality, the beginning of something that we can't even possibly understand based on the level of our beliefs currently. But when all that information comes flooding out, there's going to be no denying what's true and what's a lie or what's illusion.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, what we're experiencing right now is two master chess players sitting at the board. And one of them looks down at the board and sees that he's in checkmate in 7 moves.
Yes.
And he looks across at his opponent, and he knows that his opponent sees it too. So there's no getting out of it. So at this point, the loser can only prolong the game. Both players know the game is over. It's only a matter of time before he does this, and then you're forced to do this, and then he's forced to do this, and eventually checkmate. We, as a race, if we could understand that the game is over, that based on the rules of the game, the bad guys have already lost, the good guys have already won.
Yes.
Yes, there's moves left on the table, but those moves are being forced by the player that is going to win. The only way that checkmate can't happen is if the player that's winning makes a mistake. But from all of the information that I've gathered, all of the information that's been given, all of the information that's been vetted to me, it seems pretty obvious that the good guy player on the side of the chessboard knows exactly what has to be done to win the game. And so at this point, any mistake would be all but impossible. But again, you really have to understand the game to know that the guy that's losing is lost. And I'm sure most people sitting watching a chess match between two advanced chess players know the game's over long after the two players know it's over. Because they can't see the board and see that there's only 7 moves left.
I found that last part he said 7 moves, so that kind of surface about, when talk about the tribulations, the 7 years, when he said 7 moves. But going back to what he said about, if one could wait out the other, the one, may have a chance. No, there's no waiting out. The Most High is the master chess player. The master chess player. We have been looking, as someone brought forth, I believe it was Big Judah yesterday, brought forth about Satan, how it was created. Well, so it was more so much of a power thing to have one just be caught up into a spin, and as I have, felt that I have been shown is the Most High is the master chess player. The Most High is in control. The Most High, have those which we consider which is good spirits and which evil spirits. And both is under the Most High guidance and leading or leadership. So this whole thing about, when say the person who's say on the board playing, just say supposedly with the Most High, and the Most High is the top, already the master chess player, but this other person who Father have given leadway, when I say, and I'm speaking now of the spirit, which is the devil, leadway to do and be upon certain people. Because like I said before, that spirit that came upon certain people to carry out certain acts were in these last 500 years. They have done according to what the Most High has allowed them to do. whether we want to accept it or not. It's people. When you mention the word devil, demon, Lucifer, Satan, it all line up with it's a deceiver. It's a foe. It's a false accuser. That ties into an enemy. Enemy, Satan, devil, Lucifer, Satan is all the same. And it is people. It is people. The spirit is on upon people to carry out certain functions. I've heard it's, in teaching that the Most High is balance, which the Most High has with good spirits, evil spirits. It's balance. It's not all just one-sided like we've been taught about the Messiah, Jesus Christ, or what you may want to call that Messiah, that timeline of the Bible in the New Testament, that I see it for what it is. Some want to say, well, we got Jesus and he's through that we've got that connection with the Most High. No, the Most High, period, is in control of all spirits. That storyline surrounding Jesus Christ in the New Testament was to have it to be a scapegoat for people, to have you dumbed down, for you to trust in another whole deity, another whole God. Remember what I just said. That storyline surrounding that Messiah in the New Testament, whether they want to try to say it's in the Old Testament, it's about a deity. When I fasted and prayed for understanding about that deity, that which is Jesus Christ, I was given Deuteronomy 6:4. And Deuteronomy 6:4 speaks on that the Most High is one. One. Then I got a revelation shortly, very, very shortly after that, within them same minutes, and was given a song by someone who sings the song. By someone who sings the song called Only One. Never knew this person even exists. The confirmation of what was given to me in Deuteronomy 6:4, that the Most High is one. So I said, earlier in other videos that, in this great awakening, in our awakening, waking up to, the truth even further, how we wake up. Can you still be, you say you awaken, but you're not moving in truth? You still sleep when we moving still in lie to whatever degree we're not fully woken. So, again, I'm not going to make out like I know all the ins and out about everything, because I don't. But what I feel strong in far as what, different things have surfaced is that the Bible is provided and given unto us after we've read through it, study it, know it, storyline after storyline. It's then become a reference book that you can refer back to. But if you're living within those pages, you're not going to, what I understand, fully become awakened. How you live outside of those pages is by, to me, looking at the storylines that are in the Bible surrounding all these famous biblical characters, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and so forth, and line them up with outside of the pages into the real world, which we call it historical facts. And this is where we question everything. And if it does not line up what has happened according to the scriptures, if it's truth in who those people are, but they have different names, we got to deal with that. If you just want to say, no, those names can't be right, because now you're looking for Isaac and Jacob, and even in your tongue, you on the continent, and according to whatever, tribe or wherever you're from within the continent, you have a different language. You may call the Most High a different name. You might call Messiah a different name. You might call, Isaac, Jacoby, as far as Jacob. But does that say that is the name? Where are our elders, our chiefs, our the kings and so forth, what have been receiving in oral generations of communicating about our people? We need to start asking these questions. What about Noah? What do you know about the flood outside of the Bible? Because accordingly, there was a flood manifest back in the late 1800s. It was a mud flood. What about the flood that Noah, with all the animals, was on that ark that wasn't big enough to hold all animals, 2 by 2 of all in each animal, that landed supposedly near Iran? That means the animals would have got off and stayed there, and people will be going to the safari in Iran or wherever that place over there, according to the scriptures. Think about it, my brothers and sisters. Where they come to the safari at? But you lining it up. Did the flood did ever happen? Because with the flood if it did happen, that also gonna take you to the question mark. If it say it didn't happen, well then what's this whole concept about Noah and the 3 sons and dividing up the earth? Did the earth was really divided up by these 3 sons? And who are these 3 people? Where their graves at? Shem, Japheth, and Ham. Where is the graves of these 3 people outside of the Bible? Could we go dig up their bones wherever they at? Do we know where they at outside of the Bible? Because if the flood didn't happen, then in so many ways, then that means that knocks out the storyline about Shem, Japheth, and Ham. That gave to me them leg rooms to say that they always been here. The Europeans, that the way they look with blonde hair, blue eyes, and their skin, white skin, or what one want to call it, pale skin, or however, they want to make it seem like with Noah being, he was an albino, or Noah, one of the sons were white. But when we understand that every body upon the earth for hundreds of thousands of years were all dark, melanated people. So we got to deal with this, family. I'm tired of being in a lie of lies. I want the truth. And I'm seeking Tata for truth. But if our people, as far as our togetherness and unity, come together and understand that it's something about the emo people, the original people. Because once you move that, if the flood didn't happen, then the land mass wasn't separated by the 3 sons. You understand? We should already pinpoint that that's a hole in the storyline when the animals fit on that one little, on the ark. And on that ark, those animals should have got off wherever that is over there near Iran, where they found the ark at, so they say. And the safari should be over there. But is it? Do they have a safari in Iran and where over there? I want to say that's Iran. Or near it. Is the safari there? All the different animals that are in Africa, is it over there? It's holes in the storyline. The only way I can think of why Tata is allowing this to happen is how much we want to get to him. How much we want to, by us learning, that brings us in our conscious state of mind to get back to the Most High fully. By us still staying in lies and still turning the pages and talking about Christianity and Jesus Christ and all the Messiahs, whether you call them Messiah Congo or you call them, it's not Masindisi. Yeah, Masindisi, or you call them Yahashua Hamashiach. We still in lies. We still in lies. So it's like what I'm getting and understand is like what we need to do to get back to the Most High only. How are we going to get there? We got to get away from the lies. What team of people rallying and getting together and trying to decipher this through? Because if the Most High wanted us to notice when he woke us up, and especially my testimony, he would have poured all this in me at one time. I would have been able to come here and say, family, I don't have to seek the Most High. The Most High done gave me everything. But I don't know anyone who woke up who say that they know everything. It's about us seeking him, and it's about us how much we going to wean off the lie to get back to the Most High. That's what I'm getting. But hey. So again, I'm putting it out there. If anyone want to be a part of our research team, if anyone want to be a part of, getting together and doing a type of interview for our elders, for the different ones over there, and weaning out the lies from the different tribes, the different kings. I already said that, it's on us. It's on us. I just can't believe the Most High allowed me to understand a lot and showed me a lot. And still yet, I don't have all the answers, or ones that he's, have dealt with and have put aside. I've been put aside from a business that I had within the last, 4 or 5 years. I'm sorry, not within the last just 4 or 5 years, but I've been pulled aside, and Father have not gave that on me. I've been before him each day, every day, just well to say, seeking him for this truth and understanding, and I'm getting little bits and pieces here, there, accordingly, because I'm still circulating in the lies too. I'm still bringing up scriptures or things, from the Bible, still in the moment of the Bible instead of coming outside of it. But I'm seeing that that's what we need to do. We could reference back to the book because there's truth in there, but there's a lot of fluff. So I'm ready, family. I don't know about y'all, but I'm ready. So if you're ready, reach out to me. Let's make it happen. Let's come together. Because all these bright minds out there, the ones who doing all these researches, reading all these books, once paying $1,000 for books and this, that, to get this little, one little sentence. Oh, this the truth right here. See right here? I mean, take the time to wean out the lies in the sense of in the Bible and line it up with our people that are connected to us. The truth is our elders. And there is one of the Indians from, I'm not sure what tribe he's from. I will play that at a later time, where he speaks on talking about America. So I know America is linked to our people, and other places are linked to our people. We have to remember that they reserve a lot with the Indians on the reservation to do accordingly to what the Most High, because they are of our people in so many ways, our DNA, because the melanated people were here first and they intermingle with the Mongolians that made them lighter and look the way as they look today. And some of them kept marrying or, having children going further into the Asiatic or whatnot, instead of coming back into the rim of our people, of the dark melanin people. So the coloration of them, of course, is lighter. And a lot of them say their DNA don't, link back per se to us, but some of them do. Because those ancient stories and ancient ways, they got it from our people that was tied to us, that were in America. We were all the same people. They migrated and went, and how they went, and what they did. But what seems to bother me more than anything, in so many ways, that even the Europeans, they don't want to come to terms and say, well, we haven't been here that long in this long lineup, in this capacity. People that look like us have not been here this long. But our ancestors are linked to you all. They can't come forth and say that. They want to make it seem like everything started with them. Anything that was really before them doesn't exist or doesn't matter. And that's where they're wrong at. And even when it comes to the ones that they call Indians today, which that's not their name, the ones that are linked to us by DNA, or the ones that link to us to whatever degree, that has the storyline and understand about the Most High, but they give them another name. You understand? A lot of them don't even in so many ways link back to us, because they're thinking that, the storyline about them is being Indians, and the way they look, the propaganda and all that it was sold about and how they look now today is always been them. And that's a lie. Now that's just me saying. They didn't always look like that. The Cubans didn't always look like that. The Mexicans didn't always look like that. They're all through intermingling, got lighter, and they changed through mutations. But there is a reason why the Most High allowed the continent of Africa to remain looking the same. Because that's the origins of the people where they migrated from, according to what I understand. You ready to go deep, brothers and sisters? Reach out to me. YahRoyalFamily@gmail.com. We can come and formulate a group or organization, however you want to do it. I don't have to be the head. I could be the tail, but all my brothers and sisters out there who's teaching and doing all what they're doing, they're researchers. Look how much we can put effort in this and wean out the lies and move forward in the truth. Hallelujah. All right, family, closing out. Have a great rest of your night. I'll see you in the next video. Matando Ingeta.